Welcome to the Sisters Uncensored podcast, where we get into everything from childhood trauma to millennial adulting and all things in between. We share crazy stories from the past and present to help us cope with the insanity that is our lives. By sharing our perspectives, we hope to bring some relatability, laughter, and unsolicited advice that can help you survive the messiness of life along with us. My name's Jessica Labita. I'm a millennial mom, wife, and marketing professional, and I am absolutely insane. My name is Ashley Lanieve. I am a millennial stay-at-home mom, avid golfer, and too mouthy for my own good. We are real sisters, and this is Sisters Uncensored. Take this trip with us. Hey guys, welcome to Sisters Uncensored. We are here today with Dave Disci. Dave is known for his social media and being an amazing influencer. He has awesome K-pop video reactions. He's a YouTube personality. He has over 280,000 subscribers on YouTube. And he currently reports on awesome global news stories on his TikTok and on his Instagram. He has over 600,000 followers on TikTok, which he acquired in almost a year, which is insane.
Amazing.
Crazy amount of followers.
Amazing.
And so we met Dave when we were at the Bravo Diamonds and Rosé event.
Yes, that was so fun.
So Dave, welcome.
Hi, well, thank you so much for having me. And that was such a gorgeous intro. I'm so flattered.
Oh, you're so wonderful.
The credit all goes to you.
I loved that event. I thought it was great. It was great to see everybody. Did you get to meet? Well, for those who don't know, this event was for the Real Housewives, and they were there. So, I mean, did you get to meet them?
Yeah, we did. We did. We posted some stuff on our social. What did you think? Did you talk to any of them?
They seemed very busy, so I didn't want to bother them, and I'm very shy about that stuff. The person that I was with that I brought to the event, he's very good at being social and talking to people, so I brought him along because I'm not as social. So.
Well, listen, if you need dates for your events, we'll come with you anytime. We love to talk to people.
It's true.
Please
Jessica's like the one who starts the conversation. So she's your friend who you brought. That's mine.
Okay. We all have one.
Josh, right? What's his name?
Jacob.
Jacob, that's right.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I remember. He's so sweet.
Yeah, he was very nice.
That's awesome. So the event was super cool. Obviously, we connected there. It was so fun to meet you. And we started following your social after that night. And I mean, you are doing some pretty amazing and awesome stuff. It's so fun. And we were like, we need to have you on the show so we can talk about like what you're doing, have our listeners see what you're doing. And then we want to pick your brain. And we want to do it in this forum.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, you have some really interesting stories that you find. Where like when you're putting your stories out there or choosing which ones you're going to report on, is there like a preference for you, or do you have a specific?
Yeah, like where do you get your inspiration for what you're reporting on?
So I have this I don't think it's a secret. I think people do this, but I have like a throwaway account because I don't like to kind of search so much on my main account. I think that's kind of weird, but that's what I do. So I have a throwaway account, and in that account I follow about like 1,000 different news channels.
Oh wow.
And I just in the morning I just kind of go through and I just kind of see what people are talking about on the day-to-day, and I look for stories that are the most relevant right now. So I'll look and see if people are talking about it within the last 24 hours, or if people are talking about it within like the sooner the better. So if people are talking about within the last 5 hours, and I'm noticing that like, oh wow, this is very interesting. It's getting a lot of attention. People are very interested in this topic. I might jump on that and talk about that. So no preference in terms of like, if there's a specific type of content, I'm just looking for what is the conversation right now. So my content is kind of random sometimes. The other day I talked about, are you guys familiar with like creepypasta?
No.
Tell us
It's like this whole genre on the internet where they talk about creepy stories that they insinuate to be real, but kind of some of them are like very far-fetched where it's like probably not real.
Is this the spider?
No. So this one was the one I just put out yesterday, where it was about, they called it the boiled one. So it was about a World War II veteran who got boiled and like was boiled alive, and then is like haunting people.
Oh my God.
Oh
That's
my
crazy.
I don't see that come up in my news reels. What ones are you following?
Right?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of like channels that are similar to mine who kind of talk about also like whatever's just happening or what people are talking about. This is like, this particular character that they made up in this like creepypasta thing has been incorporated in like so many different games. It's like Minecraft, and so like they just put this character in. So I was like, okay, well maybe I should jump on this.
Yeah, that's
cool.
so crazy. So I saw, I was watching, like, I always watch them because they come up on my feed now for the last couple of weeks since we've been like talking to one another. And the spider one was like, I can't. It totally freaked me out. I was like, there is a possibility that at night when I'm sleeping, spiders can be crawling in my ear.
I saw that one too. I can't get through things like that because I'll lose sleep over it. I mean, or if like my daughter sees it or something, like
Oh my God.
walk by and sees me like scrolling on my phone and sees it, she'll be up all night. She'll be torturing me. Are you sure there's not going to be spiders crawling in my ear? Are you sure?
It probably isn't as common in like New York and New Jersey. It's probably more of a South thing.
Oh
But
my God, that
I
makes
will
sense.
I will say some of those stories that I've done even affect me sometimes. Like
Yeah.
I will like make sure when I go outside to like triple check everywhere, or I'll make sure to sleep with earplugs, things like that, where it's like it's
Funny, you go a paranoid phase for a little bit.
I
That's
had a
awesome.
spider in my basement the other day. No joke. It was like this big. It was
oh my
disgusting.
God.
I had to like put every extender possible on the vacuum to try to suck it up, and I'm still not sure if I actually got it. And I have not gone down there since. I'm not lying. It was terrible.
Oh my God.
Freaked me out.
That's horrifying. I've been getting very occasional wasps in my house, which like, oh my God, I would vacuum clean it, and then I'd have to run outside to like let it out, and I'd be like, don't sting me.
Oh, they're so nice that you let them out like that.
But
Not me. I
I
let
see
that
a bug
spider
and I'm like,
die.
they're like this big. I don't want to like touch it because I'll get
Yeah.
I know. I gotta grab like a dictionary. Whatever I can find.
You still have a dictionary?
Do I look like I have a dictionary? Definitely don't have a dictionary. I'll grab like, I don't know, the Neiman Marcus Christmas catalog.
Okay, that makes sense.
So do you like go down any of the conspiracy theory type of news stories? You
Yeah.
get into that?
So that's one of the topics that people like to talk about and get into. So the one that comes to mind right now is like when the eclipse happened, there were so many conspiracy theories surrounding that. Of course, at the end, I'll usually say, oh, by the way, this is just a theory. But I think it was very interesting that there are so many people that had all these things to say about something that was like kind of natural, like it was gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, the end of the world,
It happens.
second coming of Christ, all those things.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
That stuff. I love conspiracy theories. I'm totally into that. I could go down rabbit holes for like.
Oh,
Do you believe in mermaids?
Listen. Here's my take on mermaids. I think there's so much crap in that ocean that we have no idea that it, like what exists. We only know such a small fraction. I wouldn't put it past
Mhm.
it. You know what I mean? I guess I don't see why it would. It's like asking if there's aliens. I think there's probably aliens.
Mhm.
We did a story like a couple days ago about mermaids, and there's like footage of fishermen who are showing these figures, and like they're talking. It sounds like they're talking, but they have
Really?
this like siren-y voices. I was like,
Like sonar.
yeah, but like it's human, but not. I don't know how to explain it, right? Like, how would you explain it?
Like you hear this like eerie singing. You hear like voices. It sounds like they're speaking English, which in my mind would be the strangest thing. But I
Yeah.
guess not, right? Because if they're like a mermaid that's from North America, then maybe they would speak English, right?
I guess.
I mean, I guess so. I don't know. How do we get one on the show? You just have to like bring in a tank. You'll be fine. You only need it up front.
Sarah Hannah and Splash. You're probably far too young to remember that movie.
That's so funny. It's a great movie. Do you believe in mermaids? Do you think it's real?
Yeah. Well, I talked about as you said, like I think there's so much happening in the ocean. It's 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 weird to think that there wouldn't be something just like in space, that there wouldn't be aliens because of how big space is.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I agree with you 100%. I've seen a couple of different videos online of people who say they got mermaid footage, underwater or whatever. But I don't, everything is so hard to tell what's real and what's fake anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Online. Yeah, I would like to believe that it's real. I would like to find one and
The footage that he used, that was like, it was from like a fisherman or something. Like, it literally is, there's definitely like a human fish type figure swimming and making sounds and communicating. It was totally weird. But like, then at the same time, you're like, oh, well, cell phones are so great today. Like, why is everything that's like questionable not clear and fuzzy? So then you get back to your like conspiracy theory things where you're like, I don't know, it's like a big like, is it real?
Well, I did see one where, or one of these news stories that was saying something or showing pictures of like a giant tail on the beach that somebody found. Did you see this one?
Yeah.
And of course, I go straight to the comments because immediately everybody's like, is that a mermaid tail? Is it a mermaid tail? And I'm like, I don't know. It could be a mermaid tail. I don't know. So I go to the comments to see if like somebody can explain what it is that I'm looking at. Same thing when they show like random creatures that I've never seen before, whether it be a bug or whatever, doesn't matter. Anyway. And a lot of people were saying that it actually was the tail of a whale that like somehow when they died or whatever, like the whale dies, the animals will eat it and the tails they don't eat and it will wash up on shore. But I mean, I'm like, are you sure? How do you know that's a whale tail?
Yeah.
Like, I need to know. Is there like something that stands out specifically that would tell you this is definitely a whale tail? I need to know.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who like to say those things, and they're probably true, and they're probably getting their information from somewhere. But it is very hard for me to believe that these creatures don't exist. I mean, if you even think about it, and this was like one of the things I kind of touched upon, it's like people have been drawing mermaids well before, like different cultures have been drawing mermaids well before they were able to communicate with each other. How did they all know exactly what it looked like? And it's all the same.
Right. They are all the same. You're absolutely right. That's true.
They are way more creepy though, like in real life than like in the movies.
Yeah, I don't think they look like Ariel.
No, yeah, or Daryl Hannah, definitely not.
Like what it looks like. I need to know.
Have you seen this movie, Splash?
I have not.
You have to watch it. It's a Tom Hanks.
I will look it up.
It's like an 80s movie. Okay, so I love this. So I love like hearing how you're getting your inspiration and the different things that that you're reporting on. I think the content you're putting out is so cool because it is like very unique, and I don't see really a lot of people doing what you're doing, which I think is so awesome.
Yeah.
I know you've been doing this whole like YouTube social media thing for a really long time now. It's been about 10 years, right? And you sort of evolved over that period of time. Tell us like just about your journey and like how did this come to be? How did you evolve to get to where you're at?
What got you into it?
Yeah, like what's hard?
The keeping up kind of with what social media and what they want. K-pop came in strong for a while, and it was doing really well. It was like starting to blow up here in America, and then even like several like CEOs of the late K-pop labels were coming out and saying it seems like it's flatlining. So they were like, oh, we're going to do something. So that was also a cue in my head where I'm like, okay, this cannot be as sustainable long term as I thought it would be. So I started looking elsewhere. There were a couple of my friends that were like, you should get on TikTok, and I was like, short form video, I don't know if I want to do that. And then I fell in love with it. I was like, oh my God, this is so fun. It's easy to do. I can also put out like more. So I really loved it. And I've probably pivoted about like through like 6 different types of content. And I think that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's just like I've been doing social media full time for about 5 years. Where I'm able to like eat off of like the money that I make and stuff. And within that 5-year period, I probably pivoted about 3 or 4 times. It's just you kind of have to do that in order to stay on social media because people's interests also change constantly.
Yep.
The world changes. So if I was making, for example, if I was making travel vlogs at one point, if the pandemic hits, I can't do that anymore. If I did continue to do it, I would get so much hate. So you pivot at that point. And then if you end up pivoting on something that like does better than what your travel vlogs did at the time, then you probably, even after the pandemic, you would just keep doing that.
Yeah, you would lean more into it.
Right.
More sense, of course.
Totally.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Do you in your current forum, like, do you deal with haters and trolls?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think everyone does. And I think especially within the news community, it happens. There's actually something I want to talk about within this, which I think is very interesting. People like to roll their eyes around like racism and like that sort of stuff. I see it kind of full, like in tenfold for me, because so there was a channel, right, that took my videos, right? The only thing they took out was my face, the bottom part of me, right? So just me narrating. They put like this white guy that was like at the bottom. My voice, the pictures I used on top, everything was the same. The video, I did a video on like the Leviathan, which, you know, in the Bible or whatever. I think I got 3 million views on TikTok. This other page that stole my content got 5 million views. I go to their comment section, no hate, 0.
Get out.
And I'm like, well, if you look at mine, you'll see some hate. So I'm like, everyone's like, oh, is this real? Is it all this stuff? And then I'm like, then you look at this account that like uploads the exact same content, just without my face, no hate. So
That's fucked up.
That's
like I couldn't prove it before. It was just like a gut feeling. But when I saw that, I was like, that's literally racism. Like it's just why would we trust you? Or people saying that because I'm Chinese, I might have a different agenda to why I'm making the videos, different propaganda or whatever. And I just like making videos. There's no propaganda here.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's
actually.
it's a good way to, I mean, not that it's good at all, but what a way to like be able to gauge,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And test. That's interesting.
Have you like done anything with that on your social, like reported out about it and kind of called it out?
So it's tough because like I never know where to draw the line with that, like where addressing things would go.
Yeah.
So I don't usually talk about those things. I don't usually talk about like how I feel or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then when I talk about anything about China or I talk about whatever, it's like go back to China or like a bunch of those types of comments. So I'm like, I just don't want to touch that right now, but happy to address it here if you guys want to use clips, whatever. I'm not upset. I wouldn't be upset by that. But I think it's tough to address those things. It is tough to talk about them online.
If it makes you feel any better, I mean, this is a total sidebar, but just because you said, you know, you got this comment that's like, well, when you talk about China, they're like, go back to China. I made a comment on a Fox News, actually, it was a Fox News post about the best states to live in the US, and New Jersey came up as one. And I made a comment and I was like, it absolutely is not. As somebody born here, this state fucking sucks. But whatever, that's just my opinion. And most of the people agreed with me, but somebody came back and was like, well, then you can just get out or something like that. I'm like, don't worry, I plan on it. I'm working on it. Okay? I hate it here that much. Okay.
That's like, so I feel like this level of hate though that you're talking about is like totally, it actually makes me feel shitty because I'm like, the level of hate that we get is like someone being like, you're a drunk or a bad mom or ugly, old, right? Like that's that we get on our page. And I mean, that's stuff that I'm like, well, whatever. Like, that's your perception. Fine. Like, whatever. But this is
bye.
like, this is different, right?
Yeah,
like
that's deeper.
It's not the same. And people are so shitty. Like,
sucks.
And the fact that your content is being stolen and repurposed, and then you can actually see the drastic difference in the views. I'm actually surprised. Like, I mean, I'm not, but like,
I'm surprised that like, just in the sense, I would never have thought to be able to test that way. Like, and not that you did it intentionally, you know what I mean? I never thought about that. Now I'm like curious for like videos or things that I've watched a million times over, the same stories. If I were to go to the comment section and see how different they are in between different
that's
posters,
like actually
or
amazing. You should like totally do some sort of a social experiment around this.
Yeah,
really
interesting.
And like publish it, because this is like, I feel like a unique opportunity that you have visibility into something that like most people don't, or not everyone does, right? So like you could totally make that into a newsworthy story.
Yeah, I think so, for sure.
I think that is I think I definitely it'll happen again, because that particular account did get taken down, obviously, because like someone reported it and it got
Good,
removed.
as they should.
Sorry. So if I see it again, I think that would be a good way to compare it.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks. I don't really have like, people can't like go to the page and be like, oh wow, there's a difference. Like they'll just have to take my word for it, which you know how the internet would be. They'll be like, oh yeah.
Well, and I feel like probably most people too, like for me, I wouldn't even notice if someone was taking our stuff and like duplicating
Same.
it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not paying that much attention, to be honest. So the fact that you even picked up on that is awesome, because it's probably not easy to do.
It was my editor who sent over the video and was like, oh, this is like being copied, right? But it was an interesting, because like my video still did pretty well. I didn't see anyone in the comments tagging me, being like, hey, this is your video.
Oh,
huh.
So that was also another thing where I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because if they tag me, I can, not that I do anyway, but I could just go on like the notification, the tag button, and then see who tags me. But yeah, I didn't see it at all. So I was
like, you know, what platform was it? Was it TikTok?
Yeah.
So like, you know how you have the ability to like filter comments and different things?
Oh.
I wonder if they didn't allow your name to
you
be
specifically, yeah.
part of the comments, and that's why you have the
crazy.
tag.
Yeah.
Which
Interesting.
is so shady and shitty.
That is shitty. It's just somebody
Yeah.
trying to
Do
credit for
that.
your work. Like, stop. What? Come up with your own original content. You know how people are coming up with their own original content? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I mean, listen, it's great to have your stuff shared, right? That's what we all aspire to have happen, because it helps to grow your audience.
Yeah.
And especially if you're monetizing, which is something that we're not doing yet, because we're only 19 weeks into this. So
Right.
like we're still new at this.
Yeah.
And to your point, like you've been monetizing for, you said, the last 5 years, right? Like it takes time for this to kind of, and a lot of people give up, I think, before, you know,
I
it
think
becomes something.
I think they give up, and I think it's hard for them to financially sustain
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
Without, you have to start, you're in the red, for a while before you start to get into the green, and it taps people out, I think, a little bit early, or I think they might get discouraged is another thing, and they fall off after maybe a year or whatever it might be. But is there any advice you would give to us as newer influencer, content creator type of people?
We don't even like to call ourselves that yet.
Yeah, it's weird.
I still don't like that. The day you quit, the next day you would succeed. So like whatever day you feel like quitting, you would probably succeed the next day.
I love that. I love that too. On a positive note, I haven't wanted to quit at all. I love doing this.
It's
It's
fun.
a lot of fun.
It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, she does most of the work. She really does.
I want to fire Ashley.
Yeah, literally. I'm not a good business partner. I'm just not. I'm so checked out mentally from like emails and things like that, because I haven't done it in years. That like, she's like, oh, did you check your email? I'm like, no. She's like, check your email. I'm like, oh, fine. She was just, before we got on with you, we were setting up, we had a couple of things we had to put on the calendar. And she's like, can you invite me and add it to in your calendar and add me to the calendar? And I'm like, no, I don't care. You can take my phone. I don't know how to do that.
Meanwhile, I work a corporate job too. So I'm like, this is exhausting because I have to do everything.
It's second nature for her, though.
She's
I mean,
just the pretty face.
if it makes you feel better, listen, I'm the funny one. To be honest, I always tell Jessica, I'm like, I'm the talent. I don't know what to do. But no, it's true. I was actually looking last night, and I know this might sound silly, but hey, maybe you could even give me some advice or a tip on this. I was looking last night at like different classes, maybe online, that I could take to just kind of refresher my brain into what I can actually do to be a little bit more helpful with those things. But I don't know whether it's in business classes or something like that.
What are you struggling with aside from the emails?
I honestly, my information retention right now is just like, because I'm just so out of the loop. that I don't know how to do a lot of the things that are now second nature to everybody else.
Yeah.
I stopped working for a corporate company that I was with for 15 years about 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago. So I'm just like, that muscle in my brain is no longer being flexed, and it hasn't been flexed in a very long time. I realize how not nearly as sharp as I used to be when it comes to all of this stuff.
I feel like it'll come back to you. I mean, realistically, we haven't been doing this for very long. I feel like I've been holding your hand because to me it is second nature. And I'm also like very type A and just like, I want to get it done and I need to get it done now. So I'll just do it myself as opposed to like making you do it. I need to start managing you better because that's really what, and then you're going to just become who you are naturally.
Once I get comfortable with what I'm doing, like there's a lot of things too that when we first started this, you'd be like, okay, can you put that video that we did in the Google Drive? And I'm like, what's that? I told her from Jump Street, I'm like the Tom Sandoval in this situation. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what I don't know. I just don't know. So like, but once you show me, then I'm able to do it, you know? Just
she's learning.
I'm getting there, man. I'm sorry.
There's a lot. It's a lot of steps. I mean, there's a lot.
It keeps happening where like these changes keep happening every day with technology. It's hard to keep up. I don't know.
Do you do your own like engagement as far as like replying to comments and things like that, or do you have help?
Yeah, replying to comments and all that stuff I do myself. Every time I think about getting help, because I'm like, oh, that would streamline the process, I'm like, I personally know that I would be upset if I was like talking to a creator and I'd be like, oh, I'm just talking to their team as opposed to them. So that stopped me, and I don't really want to do that. I probably could outsource like my emails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. There's like an element of authenticity. That's what makes you who you are and why you're so awesome, right? And so if you had someone else engaging with the people who are following you, it would be inauthentic.
Yeah.
We love to fight with people. That's like our favorite thing to do.
It's true. Just likes being nice. She's much nicer than I am. I mean, and not that I'm mean, but like when people are coming at her in the comment section about being an alcoholic for being like things like stupid shit.
I wasn't even drinking.
I know. For like a video that she posts is like, it's a trend, like relax people, like read the room. It's not that fucking serious. Stuff like that. That's when I'm like, okay, now I have 2 glasses of wine before bed and I'm like, and now my petty fingers are out. I am ready to be petty.
Yeah, if you need anyone to help you manage your haters, Ashley,
I'm happy to help. I love it. I mean, I should do that as a part-time job or something. I don't know, but I really like it.
Well, I will fight. Like, so there was someone who was bullying like my friend on social media. I like went in on the comments and but if it's like about me, I just ignore it. I don't even say anything.
Yeah, for the most part, like it's water off a duck's back. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And then after a while, I notice after I engage, after a little while, I realize like I'll go back to see if like anything else was posted about it or said,
and they're like on to the next thing.
They're either continuing to argue with themselves for another 3 days in the comment section. I'm like, oh my God, I thought we were over this. Yeah. Like, why are we still talking about this? Next.
Yeah. With K-pop and like the community is they're very rabid about like who they like, right? And I've never insulted any particular celebrity, but like even if you talk about them, they think that you're insulting them without watching the video, without anything. Yeah. And anytime I fight back, I will see a new Reddit post, a new Reddit forum about me. And I'm like, okay, I'm just done. I'm not responding because like I just cannot have like 50,000 of this.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I mean, especially with your following, I'm sure it could go on for days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's exhausting. It's got to be exhausting.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't have enough followers yet to where we're still back.
No. We did touch on, in one episode, we touched on just like sexuality and things like that are going like just the LGBTQ and all of that and how we're like supporters of it, but there's certain lines for us and like where our faith comes in and things like that. It was, if you watched the whole episode, like it's a very open dialogue of just like, hey, listen, like you do you, I don't care. It has no effect on me and things like that. But like the second somebody saw just a small clip of just a small clip of it, they were going bananas.
Yeah, it was like a promotional clip that we pulled for social to promote the episode. And obviously the purpose was to be intriguing and to stir the pot a little bit. So it was like a snippet of a much larger discussion. And people.
Like, and you're like, yo, just
Yeah, just
hear the
watch.
whole thing out.
Right.
Hear it all out before you jump to conclusions. Relax.
Right.
Relax. It's not that hostile over here.
No.
Relax.
We're just trying
No.
to.
People don't want to watch the whole thing, and like I can't partly blame them because I'm like, well, a podcast is like an hour long, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, people don't even watch like 5-minute videos explaining the whole thing. So it's like,
I get bored with 5-minute videos. I do. I mean, unless it's like my favorite things to watch on TikTok are like cop videos and people getting arrested. I don't know why. I don't know, but I really enjoy it for some reason. Just people acting like clowns. I think it's hilarious. Yeah. But like, if it's taking too long to see people get crazy, I'm like, I'm on to the next.
Yeah.
Let's go next.
Yeah.
So funny.
No, you have to like, everything has to be like in micro doses today.
Yeah.
That's like, so our show, we try to keep around 30 minutes because I don't think like we can't even talk for more than that.
That's true.
I don't want to
we
hear
probably could.
myself.
I don't want to
talk
hear
for
myself
longer
talk
than
for
30 minutes.
Yeah, 30, 40 minutes. That's where we usually cap out. Plus, I mean, like, by then we beat whatever topic we're talking about to death and sidebarred maybe 20 times. So it's fine.
ADHD is real. Tell us about what you've got coming up. Anything exciting? Going to any other cool parties, events?
So I will be in Paris because they are having like a party for the I want to say this right, Paralympian.
Yeah.
So they're having a party. They're getting a bunch of influencers together. So I'm flying out. I'm not being like they're not paying me to fly out, but I'm just going to do that anyway. And I think it'll be a fun time. Very excited.
Yeah.
I also have a trivia card game that I'm manufacturing. I'm getting the prototype. It's coming in like few days. So I'm hoping that does, like, I'm going to play the game with a few people, test it out. If I like it, then I'll do like the whole order of like, 1,000 of them or whatever. And then I will start to sell them. So I'm very excited for both of those things.
So what kind of trivia?
So it's going to be about politics, sports, and then true crime.
I'm obsessed already.
We want to play.
Yes.
Well, I will send them to you then. I will send you guys.
Thank you. That would be so
Absolutely.
great. Oh my God. I would love
Yeah,
to play
we'll
that.
totally help you promote this if it's something that you decide you want to move forward with. We love it.
Ooh.
Trivia's our jam.
Yeah, we love trivia. Well, you would be really good with the sports.
I love sports. Yeah.
She's really into sports.
You'd be good with the politics and
and the true
and
crime.
the true crime.
Yeah, I know about
So
basically murder.
The difficulty ranges, like, so some of them it's like, what is America's pastime? And that one's like more easy, right? And then versus like ones that are,
Yeah.
So it'll be fun.
What's happening with America's pastime after a baseball video that she posted?
So have you seen this like very demure, very mindful
Yes.
trend? Okay, so our agency partners were like, you guys should make a video on this. It's trending. It'll help increase your followers, whatever. So I make the video while I'm sitting at my son's baseball tournament. Super sound. I'm like wearing my mom gear. It's like in between the games. I make the video. The hate I got on this video for saying that I'm sitting at the bar while at a baseball tournament was like, like I said, you're an alcoholic, you're this, you're that. And I'm like, wow, like people are so judgy. I was not drinking. My kid wasn't playing baseball. It went from like, my child has no father, which he does.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happily married, right? Like,
she's drunk driving.
yes. Oh my God.
Like it was like
It's 0 to 1,000.
It's
Oh my God.
so fast. We were like, what the fuck? Is somebody fucking with me? I feel like somebody's fucking with us. I don't know. I don't feel like this is a normal response.
Yeah. No.
Whatever.
People are so angry.
You're right. They are.
I'll usually read like maybe the first like 5 or 10 minutes because that will be people that are following you. And then afterwards, it's just like random people and you don't really care about their opinion anyway.
Yeah,
Totally
so
agree.
true.
Well,
Totally
that game
true.
sounds really cool, though. I'm totally into it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the Paralympics thing sounds awesome. That's really fun.
Yeah.
So many good stories that like out right now that are like so incredible.
Yeah.
Like the girl who just ran.
Oh,
She won the long jump, and her husband is a Paralympian. Did you see that?
I love
And they're
them.
like, oh, they're just the sweetest couple ever. Like,
oh my,
they're both so amazing.
he was so his response to her winning.
Yeah.
Like just his entire like physical response was
Oh.
goals, like relationship goals.
Totally.
That guy, oh, what a love. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I can't wait to see what you report back on from
Yeah.
going to
I'm
Paris.
so-
It's going to be awesome.
Well, we'll be keeping an eye out. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Very excited to see more of your stories and things that you post because they're very engaging. We like them.
Yeah, for sure. What else? Anything else you want to tell us about?
It's odd to say that's it because that's a lot, but yeah, that's it.
You keep talking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really,
really. We
so.
could go on forever, but no,
I
this
know.
was really good. This is so nice. I'm so glad you came on.
Yeah.
This is so fun. This is amazing. If you guys need another guest, feel free to ask. I'm always
Yeah.
down.
We love it. Maybe we'll come play your trivia game on after if it starts to take off and you're ready. Like come into the studio. We'd love to have you in person.
That'd be fun.
How? I can ask after we're done
You
recording.
can just talk. Totally. Yeah.
How long did it take you guys? Because I looked on Google Maps and I was totally fine doing a drive.
Yeah.
It just like something came up around like 12 or like 15
Yeah.
minutes. So but like yeah, it would have taken me a 2-hour drive and then it would take me about 3 to 4 hours if I did transit.
So where are you coming from?
From the city.
I'm Inwood, so uptown Manhattan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that it's getting across town that's going to be the hardest, but or the most time consuming, I would think, for you. As soon as you get into Jersey and you're on the Parkway,
It's quick.
you shoot
Oh
right.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, you shoot right down.
Yeah.
I mean,
The train right to the corner.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you could take the train. There's probably a million stops.
Yeah, I was saying like 3 to
Yeah.
4 hours to
Yeah.
take the train.
That's a long time.
A long time.
You're better off driving, if you ask me.
Maybe like if you have events or something in Jersey, like
Or
let us know.
Even in New York, we could go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can always come to you too. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
so yeah,
Uh,
keep us like in the loop about stuff that's happening. Like if we can come hang out and like just keep meeting you guys and people and your friends, we'd love to like keep talking. It was a lot of fun to hang out with you guys the other night, you and Jacob. Yeah. I know. I loved that we had that whole like connection with Bayer and everything. It was so crazy.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Such a small world.
Yeah.
Some of the people that we met there, like we were talking to another girl who's been inviting us to a couple events, and she like lives up the street from Ashley, and we met her at
Literally.
that Bravo.
Oh my
event.
god.
Yeah,
Crazy.
like right up the road, and I'm like in the burbs. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's like, oh, great. Do you have a kid? Because like I have a kid. Maybe we can do
Yeah.
no, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Thank you, Dave, for coming today. It's been amazing chatting with you. It was so awesome to meet you. We
Same.
hope that we can continue to like work together, help promote your stuff. We appreciate everything you're doing to help us, and glad to have you here today.
You too.
Tell our fans all about your social media and where they can find you and check out your awesome news stories.
Yeah, so if you're interested in any news stories, global or K-pop, just check out Dave Disci everywhere. So that's DAVEDISCI everywhere.
Amazing.
Perfect.
Thanks,
Perfect.
Dave.
Thank you.
Bye.